Hi, grade 10s. Today we're going to do a lesson that combines two of the things that we enjoy: deduction tables and time cards. Time cards we've already used, so it should be a review of what you already know. But if you're not 100% comfortable with time cards, then going through these questions will be extra reinforcement for you. So let's look at an example. Rhonda works as a worker with a developmentally disabled. All her times are rounded to the nearest quarter hour. There's no penalties for being late. If she works more than 8 hours a day, she earns time and a half on those hours. Find the gross pay, which we did before, then her deductions and net pay using claim code 1. So our first thing that we do here is no different than what we've been doing previously. So what we have to do is we have to find the number of hours in the afternoon and morning each day, rounding to the nearest 15 minutes. So this is like 8 Monday mornings from 8 to 12. That's 4. If we round 8 to 12 again, 4. Round here, 8 to 12, 4. 7:30 to 12. This one's a little different. That would be 4.5 or 4.5. From 8 to 11:45. A little trickier. 11:45 is right on the quarter hour. It's 3/4 of an hour. Remember that 3/4 of an hour is 0.75 of an hour, just like 1/4 is 0.25 of an hour. So this is going to be 3.75 hours. If we look at the afternoon, it's 1 to 6:30, so that's 5.5. 1 to 4:30, 3.5. 1 to 5:30, 4.5. 1 to 5:12 or 5:15 if we round. So that would be our 4.25 or 4.25. And 12:30 to 6 is 5.5 hours. Okay, now we have to figure out our totals. Now, Monday's total, 9.5. Of that, 1.5 hours is OT. So I'm just going to put 1.5 outside. Tuesday, 7.5 hours. No overtime because it's not over 8. Wednesday, 8.5. There's a half hour there, or 0.5 of an hour. Thursday is 8.75. So it's 0.75 of an hour. Friday, a little trickier. Add those together, get 8.25 or 1/4 of an hour over. So our regular hours we'll deal with in a second. Overtime will be easier. That's 2. It's actually 2 and 3. It's 3 overtime hours, a time and a half. Now, for regular hours, we had 8 regular hours here, 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 but here there's only 7.5. So if you add all those together, it's actually 39.5 regular hours. The regular rate, $17.80. Time and a half is 1.5 times that. 2660, I think. 2670 actually. But I'm not feeling so hot, so always best to check. Yeah, 2670, so we're good to go. So to find her gross pay, we'll figure out her regular pay. 39.5 hours at $17.80 an hour is $703.10. 3 hours at $26.70 is $80.10. Altogether, 7, 83.20. That is the gross pay. That is the gross pay. We now have to find the deductions and the net pay. So we have to use those deduction tables. So we have to find where 783.20 lives. So we need to find the CPP, the EI, federal taxes, and provincial taxes for 783.20. We'll do CPP first. If we look for CPP, it's $35.44. If we look for EI, you're going to want to be looking at page C6 for this, 783.20. That's $14.72. Your federal taxes, we take into effect the claim code, which is claim code 1. Looking for the claim code, 783.20. I forgot the claim code. It's claim code 1, and that's $73.35. For provincial taxes, go to the last piece. Find 783.20, 63.70. Now we'll add all 4 of those deductions together, and we'll find the total. So 35.44, 14.72, 73.35, and 63.70. Altogether gives us a total of $187.21 in deductions. Those are the total deductions. So the net pay is going to equal 783.20 minus 187.21, which gives us a net pay of $595.99. Okay, so that's all there is to it. We're doing the time cards just like we've always done them, and we're figuring out the deductions and net pay like we've already done them as well. Okay, all right, one more example. And in this example, I want to add in something. So this will not be in your handout, so I want you to write it down. The part that I want you to add in is in red, but I'll highlight it just to highlight it and make sure that catches your attention. We're going to add in a $50 weekly cost for pension and $20 weekly for parking. Here's the example. Vincent Kurtz works as a maintenance man. His workday goes from 900 hours to 1,300 hours in the morning and 1,400 to 1,800 hours in the afternoon. He is penalized if he arrives late or leaves early. Extra time is paid. All times are rounded to the nearest 15 minutes. Overtime over 40 hours is paid out as double time. Find his gross pay, deductions, and net pay using claim code 2. So we have to do the whole hour thing here. So we'll start off in the morning, knowing he starts at 9, and see if there's any day where he arrives late. So he only arrives late on Wednesday. So otherwise, it's okay. So this is okay. Wednesday's 9:30. Okay. Now, he's supposed to work till 1300, so he leaves early here. So this will be rounded down to 12:45. That's at 12 rounded down to 12:30. It's already rounded to the nearest 15 minutes. This is okay. We round that down to 1300 hours, and this will be rounded to 12:30. And all other times except for Wednesday 9:30 will be rounded to 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock to 12:45 is 3.75 hours Monday morning. Tuesday morning, he goes 3.5 hours because he stops at 12:30. Wednesday starts at 9:30 but goes to 1300 hours. So that too is actually 3.5 hours. Thursday starts at 9, goes to 1300, 4 hours on the nose. Friday, same thing, 4 hours. Saturday is going to be 9 to 12:30, 3.5 hours. Shifting to the afternoon. Only time he arrives late in the afternoon is Friday, but it's already rounded to the nearest 15 minutes, so that's easy. He has to work until 1800 hours, and he works to 1800 hours perfectly, except for here he goes late. Now, it doesn't say that, it does say extra time is paid for. Extra time is paid for, so he can work more and get paid, but it's rounded to the nearest 15 minutes. So this will be 1845 if we round it to the nearest 15 minutes. Now, looking at Monday afternoon, 14 to 18, 4. 14 to 18 for Tuesday, 4. 14 to 18 for Wednesday, 4. In fact, same thing for Thursday. Now, Friday, I did miss one thing. It says 18:08 in the afternoon. Rounding that off, that's 18:15. So it does get rounded up. So we're working from 14:30 to 18:15. That's 3.75 hours, or 3.75 hours. And on Saturday, it'll be 4.75 hours because he goes to 18:45. Okay, there we go. Now we can get some totals happening. We have 7.75 hours here, 7.5 hours here, 7.5 hours here, 8 here, 7.75 here, and 8.25 here. What does that add up to? Because it's a weekly total that is how we decide if it's overtime or not. So 7.75 and 7.75 make 15 and a half, plus 15, 30 and a half, 38 and a half, 46.75. So total hours, 46.75. So that means the first 40 are regular, and there are 6.75 hours at double time. Okay. His regular rate's 23.44. Double time would be 46.88 because we're just multiplying 23.44 by 2. Now we can figure out his regular pay, his double time pay, and his gross pay. Here we go. 40 times 23.44, 937.60. 6.75 times 46.88 gives us 316.44. Adding those together, 1254.04. That is his gross pay. We still need to find the deductions. We still have to find the net pay, but that's what we're going to base it on. Now, we have to find the taxable income, because when we find our CPP and EI, we'll be using 1254.04. But the taxable income is something that we use to find the taxes. So the taxable income is 1254.04 minus the optional deductions, which are up here, which is your 50 and your 20, which make 70. So we're going to subtract 70, and we're going to get 1184.04. So that's your taxable income. So just to be clear, when we look for CPP and EI, we're using that number. When we're looking for federal and provincial income tax, we're using that number. So let's start looking. CPP 1254.04. 58.59. So CPP is 58.59. EI. So the EI 1254.04. $23.58. Now we'll find the federal taxes. Remember, we're using 1184.04 for those. And claim code 2. Claim code 2 is 145.95. For provincial taxes, claim code 2 is 111.85. And we also will include, when we are totaling up our deductions, the $70. So if we add all the mandatory deductions and our optional deductions, get $409.97. So to find your net pay, going to take the gross pay, which is 1254.04 minus 409.97, and that's 844.07. 844.07. All right. So for homework, you're going to get 10 of these questions. You'll have the rest of this class and all of next class to work on them, and they are 4 marks. I will be marking these.